Good morning. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards number 4. This update showing the area of low pressure currently that's been tracking across the Ohio River Valley. Looks like the area of low pressure has actually been intensifying, and then it has actually at its lowest point, and it is beginning to fill just a little bit. This is a little bit of a weaker solution in real time, and we do have this area of higher pressure bringing us a beautiful Saturday all day long without no precipitation threats. However, this area of higher pressure is also in the process of shifting south. The compression between the area of low pressure and this area of higher pressure over us currently is the name of the game here with the current winds that will be increasing and intensifying across parts of Pennsylvania and have been blowing fairly strong across just a little bit north of the area of low pressure. Let's take a look at what it looks like currently right now. So Vermont here, we're seeing some high clouds just filter the sunshine. This is the big precipitation shield that's pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico moisture, as well as now tapping into the Atlantic, and this will continue to be the case. This area of low pressure tracking across Indiana and Ohio, and then will curl up here and then redevelop in the Bay of Fundy, actually near Cape Cod, a little bit north of Cape Cod, and eventually this will basically push the conveyor belt quickly to the north and weaken it considerably. But we are looking at mainly the western slopes of the Green Mountains to be affected, it looks like, during the overnight period. Early Sunday morning through the day on Sunday does not look like a problem before midnight tonight. And precipitation shield will get here, it looks like, during the evening hours. It'll take a little bit of a slower spread northward as drier air entrainment from this area of higher pressure will continue. Rapid refresh, high-resolution computer modeling showing winds here. These are wind gusts, and nothing to worry about for quite some time to come. You notice that roughly by around 4 o'clock, we should start to see some wind gusts in the Poconos, and then back over across western New York, where wind gusts could be as high as 38, 40 miles per hour. So we'll be watching for this to see if this is in line. It does look like that conveyor belt eventually will spread north and really affect primarily, it looks like, southern Vermont and then thereafter central Vermont, but mainly along our western slopes and, of course, higher terrain above about 2,000 feet. This is the precipitation field advancing. This is roughly noontime here, so expecting this to be getting into the southern tier parts of New York and then making a very slow run to the north and east. And as it does, it looks like it'll be pushing and affecting southern Vermont with a few light showers, maybe as early as 5 o'clock. However, the main precipitation shield takes a little longer to get here. This is valid at 8 o'clock tonight. This is the precipitation shield with the European model, and you can see that it gets in here. And this is roughly at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it barely gets into central Vermont, so it remains pretty dry into the evening hours really across the northern half of the state. It does look like this is slowed down just a little bit. However, it's that pressure gradient here that we're seeing relatively tight. There's going to be copious amounts of moisture. The National Weather Service has posted a flood watch for Vermont, all of Vermont, south to north, and we're expecting some pretty good rainfall. And this will be orographically, that is terrain-induced rainfall, much higher amounts of rainfall along the eastern slopes of the Green Mountains, and then downsloping with the downsloping signature here. You can see the pressure patterns continuing into the day on Sunday. However, this is the good news. The secondary low will develop. Basically, very quickly will kill off any of the gradient winds, so the wind should be calming down considerably as we get into the late, I'm going to say mid part of the afternoon and on Sunday, and it's really not a problem thereafter. It looks like it's we got two fronts here. Looks like some flooding rains, especially in those upslope conditions orographically along the southern Green Mountains, and secondarily the central Green Mountains, and of course the downsloping winds and the main concern for utilities. The sail effect of our large tree canopies is also going to be a little bit problematic. This is the European model. We're looking at the New England here, and you can see these wind gusts are up around, they're getting into that range here, and this is in knots. So we're still looking at a pretty significant event, but it looks like it's more centered now for a real narrow area of the western slopes of the Green Mountains, and then it ends pretty quickly. So really the time frame, roughly about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then continuing to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about a 12-hour stretch. And then again, primarily, it's going to be really southern Vermont should be the focus for the strongest winds. And then secondarily up into Addison County potentially, Less so Chittenden County and points north, as the winds never really max out in this direction here. And currently, right now, this morning, we're looking at the strongest wind gust to be to the northern portion of this area, low pressure tracking north and east into the central Great Lakes. And it does look like we're starting to see strong winds on this backside where it should be. So things are looking, the models seem to be handling things, but have backed off just a little bit from what it was about 24 hours ago. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.